I think the reporting that Ramona and Tim put together here, connecting the dots for us, shows that there was friction going on inside of that building that was bubbling for a while. And ultimately, this was a team that said, hey, we've got to win without him. There's another injury that pops up, and there's another injury. We've got to win without Kevin Durant and go back to what made us a good team and put us in position to be one of the better teams in the West a year ago by relying on their youth. And in no small part does the burner accounts and all of the narrative around Kevin Durant, whether it's moodiness, whether it's, some of this behind the scenes stuff that's well reported in this article, that doesn't just go away. Locker rooms aren't just quick to be like, let's look past it. He's one of the best players ever in this game. I look at this and I think there's a lot of smoke here, but if he's that good, which we obviously know that he is, there's certain things that he'll get a pass on. I think this could cause for conversation, though, that there might need to be a very serious talk behind the scenes about Kevin Durant, who's there for one more year at the minimum, not continuing on this way, because the young guys are going to be on that team far longer than Kevin Durant's future is going to be in Houston.
Can we just take a step back for a second? Because why are we talking about this? We're talking about this not because the Rockets are the most interesting team in the NBA right now. There's teams like the Knicks who are winning, teams like the Timberwolves who are winning. Why is this interesting? It's interesting because of Kevin Durant. Because Kevin Durant has one of the most unique sports careers in any of the major sports we've ever seen.
Complicated.
Yeah, because is he a first ballot Hall of Famer? Definitively. Is he one of the greatest players to ever play the sport? Yes. Is he a champion? Yes. Did he help a championship team get even better? Absolutely. Is there anything offensively he can't do? No, he can do it all. Is he a good defensive player? Yeah. In his prime, he was a very good defensive player. He's played on a lot of teams. When he is definitively the quote-unquote leader of a team, it doesn't always go well. His choices as to what teams to go to, I think we look back and say, that was an odd one. Why not stay here versus go there? Or why not go to this team instead of that team? Is there a comp in any sport in our lifetime to Kevin Durant's career? Because I don't know who that would be.
Aaron Rodgers, maybe the closest I can think of because of the sustained level of excellence.
No,
but
because
it feels like it's fallen short in a way.
The reason I would say no on that one, it's
because he has a home in Green Bay. Definitively a home.
Yeah, because he won the title as the best player on the team that we most associated him with, and I don't know that he has any kind of beef with them right now, which is, I think,
he'll
maybe
be welcome
Goody,
back.
but
he'll be welcome back.
Yeah, when Kevin Durant's all said and done, the team you most associate with him is...
It will have to be Golden State because that's where he had his most success.
I still think Oklahoma City, which is a weird thing to say considering he didn't win a title there, but the big three that never was, that's where my mind goes as a basketball fan.
But I would say Oklahoma City got significantly better, not because he's not there, but after the Kevin Durant era, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, etc., they got significantly better because we're in that era now. Mm-hmm. And I would say that he made an already great team, Golden State, an iconic team.
Finals MVP.
Twice. And I understand they won 73 games before he got there, but... it don't mean a thing unless you get a ring, right? That's what everyone said at that point. I don't know. Vegas East, do you guys have a player comp, for a career comp for Kevin Durant? Because again, the reason that this becomes interesting, the Rockets season ending in a thud, the moodiness, do they keep him? Do they go into the Giannis conversation? Do they just say, hey, change for the sake of change? Do they do what Small says and say, we don't know what this team is because the guy who's supposed to organize it and run it is Fred VanVleet, who wasn't there. But then you just take a step back and say it's logical for Kevin Durant to be on another team this year, right? Drafted by the Sonics, they become the Thunder. He then obviously goes to the Warriors. He goes to the Nets. He goes to the Suns. He's now on the Rockets. And I could easily say I think he should be on another team next year. Yet definitively first ballot Hall of Famer.
Is it kind of like Shaq?
That's interesting.
Like Shaq.
Warriors fans, let me ask you something that sounds wild but not impossible anymore. What if the most controversial move in the entire NBA offseason is Kevin Durant ending up right back in the Bay? Because the conversation has changed. A year ago, it felt closed, finished, done. Durant didn't want the Warriors reunion in February of 2025, and that looked like the end of that story. But now, Houston just finished a season full of noise, tension and questions. And the ESPN segment you brought in puts the spotlight right on the issue. An article from Ramona Shelburne and Tim McMahon described a Rockets season that ended with a thud, with Durant's moodiness reportedly wearing on teammates and internal friction bubbling for a while. And that matters for Golden State, because once a team starts asking whether the fit is right, every contender with vision starts looking at the door. In the ESPN discussion, one side says Houston will probably run it back because they never really got to see the full roster healthy together, especially with Fred VanVleet's absence hurting the leadership structure. But the other side of the segment basically says there's smoke here, real smoke. And when there's that much smoke around Kevin Durant, people start wondering whether another move is coming. Houston ownership and management have publicly emphasized continuity, and recent reporting around the team still suggests the Rockets expect Durant and Ime Udoka back. But that does not erase the fact that the mood around the Rockets has become a story by itself. Now think about why the Warriors would care. This is not about nostalgia. This is not about rewriting 2017 in cosplay form. This is about maximizing the final elite years of Stephen Curry. Durant is 37, yes, but he still averaged 26.0 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 4.8 assists in 78 games for Houston this season. That is still star production. That is still a player who can bend a playoff series with shot-making alone. And if you put that beside Steph's gravity, Draymond's playmaking brain, and Golden State's spacing principles, you instantly create a cleaner half-court offense than the Warriors had for long stretches of this past season. That's the basketball argument, and it's strong. The emotional argument is even louder. In the ESPN clip, they say the team most people will ultimately associate Durant with might actually be Golden State, because that's where he had his most success, where he won 2 Finals MVPs, and where he turned an already great team into an iconic one. That's not just praise, that's legacy language. So if Houston ever reaches the point where it decides this young core needs a different tone, a different voice, a different timeline, the Warriors become one of the few destinations that make sense both competitively and historically. Now, is this easy? No. Durant is under contract, Houston can absolutely keep him, and the Rockets may still believe that better health and VanVleet's stabilizing presence solve a lot of what went wrong. But here's the favorable read for Dub Nation. This is no longer a silly fantasy. The media conversation has reopened the emotional side of Durant's future, and once that happens, Golden State is always going to hover over the story. So I'm asking you right now, if Houston starts listening, would you want Kevin Durant back in a Warriors jersey? Drop your take in the comments, hit like and subscribe, because if this rumor gets louder, the whole league is going to feel it.